want to first make sure that this is working because I never use my iPad. It's really old and I never film in this spot. But for some reason yesterday I was trying to set up to film and I couldn't get the app updated. But my iPod's so old that I don't think it was able to keep up. So when I did that, for some reason, it wouldn't allow me to flip the camera to front facing. I know this happened a couple of months ago on Mother's Day when I was trying to film with Justin of White Collar Advice, and I couldn't get it, and I had to literally film in my mirror. So I shut it down overnight, I restarted it again, and then hopefully we're okay. Hi, Heather. You guys, how are we doing with connection? Are we okay? Because like I said, I haven't filmed in this spot in a century, and I want to make sure we're okay before I continue. Can you guys hear me okay? We're good. Okay. So for you guys that don't know who I am, I'm going to introduce myself first, and then we're going to talk about the mistake I made that almost cost me my relationship. So it's a confession and some advice to help you guys avoid this really stupid mistake that I make. First, my name is Ro. I'm the founder of Strong Prison Wives and Families, and I use my years of experience to help prison wives avoid the pain and the suffering that I felt while I was going through it alone. And I also encourage, empower, and support you guys to survive not only this time while he's inside, but well beyond the sentence. So again, I want to talk about today how I made this rookie mistake and give you some advice through my confession. Really quick, this is on the SPWF page, right? Not on my personal page. I always have to check because I got some major technical glitches going on as of late. And I want to make sure that this is reaching the people who can see it, the people that need it the most, because I'm never on my personal page anymore. So can somebody just give me either an emoji, a couple emojis, hey Marlene, or just let me know in the comments that this is on SPWF. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Heather. So here's my confession, you guys. Kind of a background story. Thank you. You guys that have been with me for a really long time know that I do not function well whatsoever when I'm short on sleep. It's just my thing. I need at the very minimum 8 hours a night, but I do better on 9 or 10 hours a night. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just the way my body is. It's what I need. I'm one of those rare people that needs a lot of sleep. When I don't get it, I turn into a very emotional, cranky mess. That or I get very edgy. So I always tell people I'm going to wind up being the prison wife who, through no sleep, winds up divorced or in jail. Jokingly, but it's not a good picture. So when I don't sleep enough. So last Thursday, I went to go see the U2 concert. Amazing, by the way, you guys. They put on such a good show. But I went there. I went with one of my prison wife girlfriends, actually. She stayed at my house, and then we drove out to visit on Friday. So we went Thursday night. By the time we were back from the show, public transportation, had to switch over a couple of trains, got back home. It was probably 2 o'clock in the morning. Woke up early because I picked up another prison wife on the way. So there were, I think I had to be, I think I was asleep by 2 and up by like 6 or maybe 7. So I was short on sleep. Then when I go out to visit, I'm short on sleep again. I get up early so I can shower and get ready and get breakfast and get to the facility. Hi, Levy. Get to the facility in time, early, in time for count and to not have to wait in line for so long. So I was kind of short on sleep. So Heather knows this story. So I got to visit and they had this new rule that and I promise this is a long background story, but there is a point to telling you all these little details. There's a new rule that they didn't post anywhere, but they decided that we weren't allowed to wear open-toed shoes anymore. And I know a lot of federal facilities are not allowed to wear open-toed shoes, but since I've been going here for 8 years, you are even allowed to wear flip-flops. So they changed the rule, but they didn't tell any of the guys inside. Thank you guys for all the love and for all those hearts. I really appreciate them. So one of my girlfriends told me, she's like, I think they might have changed the rules. No flip-flops. Make sure you bring, so stupid. Make sure you bring backup. But in the haste of the morning, I was wearing strappy shoes. So when I got there, that happened to you in New York. Ugh, I get it. If they want to change their rules, that's fine, but let the guys know. So anyway, this girl warned me on the way in. I said, I heard that might be happening. Let me go ask the cop that's working. In feds, we call them the cops, the guard. And she was super sweet. And she was like, you can wear them Now, hi, Justin. She goes, you can wear them now. She said, but we probably will change that rule in the future, but the inmates will be told first, and then they'll have to tell you, and there'll be a date that we start doing this. I said, so today I'm okay. She said, today you're fine. She said, thanks, Justin. And she said, honestly, she said, I don't know if it's just flip-flops you're not allowed to wear or if it's any open toe. She thought it was flip-flops, so even if it had a sling back, she thought it would be okay. Awesome. I said, thank you so much. She was so sweet and helpful. I went to go sit down in the little processing room that they keep us in to fill out the paperwork, wait to be called to be processed. And about 5 minutes later, she came in and she said, listen, I just called in the back for you. She said, they're not allowing open-toed shoes starting today. So I wanted to give you guys warning. If you're wearing them and you need to go change, go do it, because you need to be back here before 9 o'clock to be processed, or you're going to get locked out and you're going to have to come back after 10:30 after count. So I was frantic. Here I am 20 minutes away from my hotel room. There are no stores in between. I'm wearing a really dressy outfit and it was maxi, so I couldn't even try to find flat shoes because my dress would be dragging on the ground in the rain. So I was like, listen, girls, I left my friends there. I was like, I got to go back to the hotel room. I said, I have to try to get there, change, and get back before 9 o'clock. Here it was, 8:15, 20 minutes away, 20 minutes back, and it's raining, so it's a slow drive. So by the time I just shared your video, let them know you... Oh, thank you so much, Justin. You guys, if you don't know Justin from White Collar Advice, go over and follow him. He shares the most amazing videos with tips for guys who are going in. So, he's a very good friend of SPWF, by the way, and a colleague of mine, good friend of mine. Okay, so I get back to the hotel. I come back. I'm shaking. I make it with 5 minutes to spare. I get in. I walk up to the desk. I'm shaking. My legs are hurting. You guys have been through this. You know what it's like to go through that anxiety. I just wanted to get in. I'm overtired. I'm scared I'm not going to make it in. I drive all this way. I spend all this money, and I just want to get in to see him. The cop was so sweet. I said, oh, it's not my day. And she said, don't worry, honey. We'll get through this. So sweet. So I get through. They call Adam. He comes out. I was a little shaken. I explained what had happened. And then I said, listen, I said, I know you want to talk about some stuff that's a little serious this weekend. What's going on? And he said, we have plenty of time to get to that. Tell me what's going on with you. So I got nervous. Now, how am I supposed to just let that go and sit and try to be normal for the next 5 hours or that day and the following day until he wants to talk about it? So I let about an hour pass, and I said to him, I said, listen, let's just talk about what you want to talk about. And so he brought it up, and I'll share that with you guys in another video because I can't talk about it yet. But it was something that made me very emotional. And remember, I told you I was emotional from the morning. This is why I was telling you that background story. I was already emotional from the anxiety of maybe not getting in the morning and having to rush back to the hotel and try to make it back in time before they lock me out for a count. Then I wouldn't get back in there until noon. This is 8 o'clock in the morning, so my visit would be shortened from 8:30 to 3 to 12 to 3. That's a big difference when you travel 6 hours and spend a lot of money. I'm preaching to the choir. I know you guys know this. Go ahead. I'm ready. I'm already shaken by that. I'm already emotional by that. On top of it, I told you I went to the U2 concert the night before, so I was really short on sleep. I got up really early in the morning, and for me, that's a recipe of being really cranky. So immediately when he told me what he told me, I was fighting back tears. I was about to lose it. And I'm not saying just cry. I was about to have an emotional meltdown. Mind you, it was also no more hormonal time. So this was the perfect storm for me to just lose it and visit. And in my head, I just kept telling myself, don't cry. But if I talk, I'm going to cry. But I don't want to cry in here. I don't want to cry to him because there's nothing he can do to fix his situation. He's doing the best that he can, but this is beyond his control. Okay, for you guys that don't know, Adam was given a 213 years sentence stacked upon each other because of mandatory minimum sentencing laws. So it's kind of an unfair situation, and we're fighting every day to get that overturned. But again, it's something that's beyond his control at this moment in time. Sometimes that gets me down. I'm only human. But I didn't want to cry in front of him. Not only did I not want to cry in front of him, I didn't want to cry in front of the cops. Now, this is something, the guards, this is something that is within my own head, but I always feel like I don't want to show the system that they're winning. I don't want to show them that they're breaking me, that they're getting between us, or that they're getting me down. That's in my head. That's something I need to work through and move past, because I wound up actually hurting my relationship and allowing that to potentially happen by getting stuck in my head and getting stuck there. So I just did it. I stopped, and he said, what's wrong? And holding back tears, I said, I'm okay. And he goes, what's wrong? He knew I was okay. And so you're right, Heather, that's real. I'm so stuck in my head and I got to get beyond that. But I said, I feel like we just took an enormous step backwards. And I feel like we're stuck there now for the next 4 years with the administration that's in and the things that have been coming down from the Attorney General. And that's all I could get out. My voice started quivering, tears started, filling up, and I just stopped myself. And he said, I'm sorry. I know you've dealt with so many disappointments, especially over the past few months. And I hate that this is another disappointment, but it's what has to happen right now. And so the rest of the visit, you guys, I was very quiet. I was very calm. I was quiet. It was difficult for me to engage. I allowed him to do most of the talking, to tell me stories, because at any given moment, I could have broken down and cried. But what I did was I bit my tongue, and I didn't communicate through what I was thinking. What do I preach to you guys all the time? You need to communicate open, honest, and raw, no matter what, or you will not and cannot survive this experience. Well, what advice did I not take? I didn't give the advice that I didn't take the advice that I always give. And I'm human. I mess up myself. So I didn't say anything. I swallowed it all day Sunday. So Sunday night I get home. I was fine. He called me. He's like, you sound like you're in really good spirits, just to make sure I got home okay. I was like, I'm great. Monday morning I woke up and it all hit me like a ton of bricks. So I sent him this long, dramatic, passive-aggressive email. And in there I was like, I feel like you told everybody about this decision before you told me, but you said that you were making it about me, but really you were just manipulative. And I'm being really vague, you guys. I'm sorry. I just can't talk about it publicly at this point in time, but I will get there one day when I can. So I sort of questioned his integrity. You guys know that the last thing that they have, and the only thing that they have, is their word and their integrity. So he got pissed. Rightfully, he got pissed. And he sent me a message back and he said, listen, it sounds like you want an out. And if you want your out, then you need to tell me now. He goes, what was the point in you coming here and spending all weekend with me if you couldn't be open with me and tell me what you were feeling? Now what? Now I have to do this through email. Adam, by the way, hunts and pecks. He doesn't type very well. So I have to spend my 30 minutes trying to formulate these thoughts. He was angry, again, rightfully. Now I have to go try to get on the phone and call you with 4 guys around me. We got 15 minutes to talk about what we had 12 hours to talk about over the weekend. What was the point in you coming out here? I'm always completely open and honest with you, and I tell you everything that's on my mind and that's going on. Why would you conceal that? Why would you not tell me that all weekend long? So when he called me, waterworks, I lost it like a little baby. And he was still angry. He was mad. Like, my tears weren't making it any better because I screwed up. What's the word I'm looking for? We've made a pact, is a silly way to say it, but we've always promised each other that we would be open, that we would talk through our problems. And the one thing I didn't do, because I let them win, was I didn't do it. I held it in. And we were close, you guys. It was close to, not that we would have been done, but I know I hit him where, I know this hurt him. I know I hit him where it hurt. And I was trying to protect him, and I tried to tell him that. But he was like, you don't need to hold things back to protect me, because it's kind of making it worse in the long run, because now we can't fix it. So, hi from North Jersey. I'm in North Jersey, Corey. That's cool. So my whole point in sharing this with you is that you need to really be open. You need to really be honest. You need to really be raw and communicate what you're feeling and what you're thinking. And when you have the opportunity to do that in person and to talk through that eye to eye, potentially holding hands, and work through that together, don't take that away from yourself. Don't shoot yourself in your own foot because you're afraid of what people will think. Guys, Every form of communication we have can be monitored. They can listen to your phone calls. They can read your emails if you have them. They read all the mail that comes in and out. So why would I be afraid to cry in front of them because they heard me crying on the phone? I should have taken the opportunity while I had it in person and done it. Now, hindsight is 2020, right? I even said to Adam on the phone, I was like, I regret not talking to you about it. We could sit here and argue over the fact that I didn't do that. And I admit that to me, that was a mistake. I apologize. But are we going to waste our 15-minute phone call rehashing that? It's done. It's over with. And he got it. And thankfully, Adam is so patient and mature, and we were able to talk through it. And thankfully, he was able to, after our phone call, like we always say, it's a curse, some of this life, but some of it is a blessing. So he was able to hang up the phone with me and go back and think about it and go back and talk through it with his trusted friends and people that he's been bouncing stuff off of for years and years and years, and they're father figure type of people. One of my friends, he probably talked to her husband about it while they were together. I'm almost positive. So he was able to see my point of view, and we've been able to work through it. But please, you guys, just like Heather's saying, they don't get to win. They don't get to come over your relationship. Make it work for you guys and lead you to be stronger. So that's not just for me. Those are Heather's words for all of us. Because when I was crying to my friend Lauren on Monday night, she just so happened to call me as I got Adam's email in response when he was upset with me. And she said, Ro, she goes, I've been with you for 4 years. She said, without you, I would have never survived your relationship. She was like, you and Adam have been such role models to me. Your relationship is amazing and you've taught me so much. You are letting them get between you. She said, from the outside looking in, you're letting them bring you down. She said, I learned this from you. You cannot let them get between you. You can't let them pull you down. They're going to try. That's what they're set up to do. That's what they're taught to do. They're taught that those guys are the lowlives and the scum of the earth. And they're not. And we have every right to be in these healthy, nurtured, loving relationships. But from their point of view, not all of them, just like that lady that was so sweet that was helping me. Oh, we're going to get through this, sweetie. We'll get through this. But a lot of them are taught it's us versus them, and we're treated just like the criminals. So they want to see us fail. They don't want to see us going in there and being happy. They don't want to see us going in there and laughing. To them, that's bizarre. That's foreign, right? They would love to see me going in there or cry. But the thing is, I need to ignore all of that. You need to ignore all of that. You need to nurture and feed your relationship, just like Heather said. They do not get to dictate how your relationship goes. They don't get to win. You are the only person, and your loved one, you are the only two people who can make your relationship thrive, so you gotta figure out how to do it. Please learn from my lesson. If you are there and you're struggling with something, in visit, on the phone, on email, please don't bite your tongue. It's going to wind up working against you. It's not going to go away. You're not going to be able to push those feelings down and ignore them. I know that. I preached it to you guys for years. I've taught it to myself for years. But guess what? We're all human. And we all have days where we just forget. And we just go with the little girl and the baby on the inside comes out. Or the hormones take over, or the lack of sleep takes over, or the anxiety of potentially not being able to get in there takes over, and you're not thinking straight. So you need to, that's why I drill this into your heads and mine always. You guys probably are sick of hearing me say it, communicate, communicate, communicate. But if I could say it to you enough, if I could say it to myself enough, if you guys could say it back to me enough, we're all going to learn how to survive, how to thrive, and how to make the best of this. Do not let them win. I learn from my mistakes, you guys. I want you guys to learn from your mistakes. I will never make this mistake again. I don't care if I'm in visit and use every single roll of toilet paper they have drying my tears. I would rather go in there and cry and work through an emotion with him, work through an issue with him, work through a struggle with him, versus holding it in, swallowing it, and not dealing with it, and then having to come out on that side. On Monday, it was my day off of work. I did not get out of bed. I got out of bed for 10 minutes. Got up, showered, put on my clothes to go to the gym. I got back in bed and I cried and I laid around all day. Who is that serving? Who's that helping? Nobody. I should have been out with my family. I should have been out prepping for the 4th of July, which, by the way, was fine. I had fun with my family. I was able to get over it with Adam. We worked through it. But we shouldn't be having those days, because we should be able to avoid those days. Now, those days are going to be part of this journey, but I'm saying if they're avoidable and you could have talked through it, but you're biting your tongue because you don't want to make him mad, because you don't want to see him cry, you don't want him to see you cry, because you don't want them to see you cry, because name any excuse that I can't even think of right now and I don't have time to say. We can make those, but at the end of the day, that is just letting the fear win. That is just letting the system win. Say your piece, you guys. Let it out. Do not have regrets. Do not let them win. You got this, you guys. Keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey, because you're one day closer to all being behind you. Lots of love from my heart to yours. I will see you beautiful, lovely, strong, amazing, communicative ladies in the next one. You've got this. Check yourself and carry on. Anyone against you doesn't get to win, and him, he better get used to tears. Poor guy, see me cry so many times. That's okay. Bye, Ro. Bye, sweetie. Bye, you guys. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to leave the group with or me with before I go? I'm going to sign off kind of soon, because speak of my handsome little devil, he's supposed to call in about 10 minutes. Bye, sweetheart. I got your email yesterday, or the one from today, so I'm going to pass that along. But I think I probably should print it and send it. Otherwise, it's going to be unformatted. But I'll ask him on the phone tonight. Mandy, I don't care what people think. It's only about me and him. Amen, sweetheart. Yeah, Marlene, sweetie, I'm here. Sure. Ask your question, love. I love you too, my love. Kat is like my bestie. She just talked me through a totally different, because if I didn't have enough drama there, a totally different health drama that I couldn't have gotten through without her. When it rains, it pours, right? But we're all going to get through it. We'll just put up our umbrellas and hold them for each other. You're welcome, sweetie. What you got, Marlene? Are you still there? Did mommy eat that bottle? Take a breath. I know. I just said I'm from North Jersey. We talk really fast, but I know what you're trying to say. I will slow down and breathe. And Marlene, you guys, she's making me laugh. She's a comedian. I posted on my Snapchat. If you don't follow me on Snapchat, it's at StrongPrisonWIV, or the name is SPWF. Okay? And I was posting on there one day that I opened up a jar of organic tomato sauce and had to rinse out and hide the bottle on the bottle of the recycle bin, because I was cooking for my mom, and she's from off the boat from Italy, and like, God forbid she eats jarred tomato sauce. Like that's like a sin. That's like a mortal sin. You don't eat jarred tomato sauce. You have to make it home. Sauce, gravy, you have to make it homemade. Heather knows. I had to laugh. Oh my gosh. She did. And you know what's really funny? I made a video of her talking about how delicious it was, and I accidentally muted it so you guys didn't hear it. You saw that, love it. Okay, you guys follow me on Snapchat. I'm a pip on there. Somebody else said something that I wanted to address before I go. Such a sin, Cat knows. Oh. I didn't see who it was, but you said you're a newbie and you missed the live video. Sweetheart, you can go back and watch it. And then I think there's, you guys that are watching them, I'm not really familiar, because I'm only on this end. I don't usually watch the Facebook live videos, obviously. So do you guys get a notification when it's live? Let's help our new sister out and tell her how she can set it up that she can watch these. She can get a notification when they go live. But these are always available for replay. And feel free to comment, you guys that didn't watch us on the live video. Feel free to comment on the replay, because I come back and I try to answer every single comment as long as I have time. So I think that's it. Okay, once again, yes, you can follow. You can follow you. So if you follow SPWF, Mandy, will you get a notification that we are going live, that I'm live on video? Do you just automatically get a notification? Let's do this. You guys that are watching this right now, live, or if you watch it on the replay, can you let us know if you missed it and it's the new boost fault? Anna, text me about that. Comment and let us know. You will. Okay, perfect. Thank you, guys. Any questions, comments, things you want me to discuss? I got some really amazing feedback from you beautiful women on topics for future videos. So look out for those. I wanted to get this one done as it was happening in real time, while the emotions are still there, while I'm thinking about it, and I'm living it. Because like I always tell you, I need to get on here and be real raw and open with my emotions as they're happening, and I can't just be all sunshine and rainbows all the time, because that is not the reality of our lives at the moment, and that's okay. It's about what's the saying? Falling down 9 times and getting up 10. Whatever that is, it's about rolling with the punches, getting through it, finding the silver linings, and flipping things, reframing them, and turning them positive as often as you can. Okay, with that, once again, keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey because you're one day closer to all being behind you. Lots of love from my heart to yours. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your visits, and I will see you beautiful, lovely, strong, communicative ladies on the next one. Bye, sweetie.